Hey, thanks for starting my mystic messages. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I hope everyone is doing amazing today. Please remember these messages are timeless and will be received in divine timing for those who need to hear them. As always, if they don't apply, let them fly. You can always come back for the next one if they don't resonate. However, I do encourage everyone to hang out because there might be a bit of information in here that you might need to hear, especially if this passed by your feed. Okay, that being said, let's get into it. Today I kept hearing over and over again, and I don't know who needs to hear it. It sounds both specific and collective. Okay, so bear with me because this is a huge download that's coming in. There's quite a few things that are coming in. I have a feeling that some names and birth dates or locations might be coming in for confirmation. I'm not sure. I can't guarantee. But right now, what's coming in, the most important thing that somebody needs to hear right now, and this message is from the Most High, from the divine realms. Okay, and the message is: be not afraid. Be not afraid. Okay, they want to remind you of who you used to be. Okay, from when you were young, you always had a very strong faith, a very strong connection with the divine realms. Okay, regardless of what your religious upbringing was, regardless of what your family morals were or religious beliefs, you yourself always had a very strong connection with the you know the divine realms. Okay, whoever you resonated with, whether that be your guardian angels, whether that be the Most High, whether that be the Holy Spirit, Buddha, Shiva, whoever it is that you resonated with, okay, as a child, was something that you always kept very close to your heart. And somewhere along the line, like we all do, life and shit happens, okay, and it caused a lot of disappointment, a lot of sadness, a lot of frustration. Okay, a lot of horrible experiences took place. Okay, causing you slowly but surely to erode that connection that you have with the divine realms. And this is what's happening right now in your adult life. Okay. Unfortunately, like many of us do, we make a few wrong turns, along the way. And again, there's no judgment here because the Most High in the ethereal realms doesn't judge. They just send out, messages for people who, might benefit from them. And again, these are just messages, and for a lot of you, this will be confirmation. Again, this is no judgment. It's purely sent with love and to help redirect those who are feeling afraid right now. I'm speaking to somebody right now who's, worried about a decision of applying for this new job. Okay, I don't know what this is about. Something that you feel like you don't have the educational background to get this job, or that you don't have the specific skill set or qualifications, or you feel that you're too old. Okay, now this is a situation where you've been um, deeply being guided towards this specific job. You've been having this sense within you. Okay, it's something that you haven't been able to shake. This is coming from the divine realms. This is why they're pushing you to go for it. Okay, to lean on that faith that you once had as a child. Okay, to believe in yourself again, to have the courage. Okay, not to let the twists and the turns that happen in life allow you to continue down this path of stagnation that you're currently on. Okay, in this, and when I say stagnation, I mean this mindset of fear and anxiety that you're stuck in, or this sense of that you're feeling too old. You're speaking all these negative things upon yourself. Okay, and what the Most High wants you to know is that you are loved just as you are. You're being called just as you are. Okay, when divine realms encourages us or guides us to do something, we often forget because we forget it's not all about us. Okay, when we're being encouraged to do something, to create something, to go for a job, to make a certain move or maneuver. Okay, when we have this unshakable urge within us that's pushing us in a certain direction. Okay, know that the Most High in the ethereal realms already knows the ending of that story. So there's nothing for us to be afraid of, but we have to regain that strong faith and connection that we once had when we were younger or at any stage of our life. Okay, and it's not easy to do because life can be a shitbag for a lot of people, unfortunately. Okay, and it can really discourage a lot of people. And this is what it's about. It's designed. The Matrix designed this illusion. Okay, all these negative emotions. Okay, to keep us stuck, stagnant, to further alienate us from the from the divine realm, so we can escape this matrix. Okay, And it does this through disappointment to see if they can break us or not. Now, unfortunately, some people get broke by the disappointment. Okay. This is why we're in Earth School. We have to learn to get past the disappointment. And believe me, we sometimes have to remember that others out there have it worse than we do. Okay. It's not easy for anybody. Okay. And, don't think that just because, people get away with things, when we see bad people getting away with things, those that inflict the pain, believe me, they're being used and they're going to be stuck in this 3D cycle of reincarnation for millennia to come. Okay, and that's on them. They choose to be here. Everyone has free will to do what they want to do. However, whoever I'm speaking to, you want to be free. You want to get rid of this anxiety that you have. You want to be able to feel better about yourself. And the only way to do that is by taking that leap of faith and doing what you're being encouraged to do, especially for the person I'm speaking to about this job, this person I'm speaking to who's feeling that they don't have the skill set or the experience. Okay, if you are being guided to go for this job, okay, go for it. Okay, you know when the divine realms works, it doesn't work. It doesn't look at our ages. It doesn't look at years. It looks at seasons. And right now, this is your season to regain your faith. You're being called back to regain your faith, and not just for the person who's seeking this job. There's other people out there who have other decisions that are praying that are pressing on them. This is about regaining your faith, learning to find courage within yourself, not being afraid, learning to realize that you too have worth, regardless of what other people might say to you. Okay, regardless of what you might have heard growing up, you have worth, you have value. Okay, regardless of what your age is, regardless of what your skin color is, regardless of how you were raised, what your religious background is, it doesn't matter. We all have faith, we all have a purpose, and we all have a um, a divine plan set for us. Now, whether we choose to follow that plan or not is on us. Okay, we make contracts before we come here to be reincarnated into Earth School. Okay, on the things that we need to achieve. Okay, and for the person I'm speaking to, going back to the job, okay, this is something that you need to achieve. Okay, and if you don't achieve this, unfortunately, you're going to keep yourself stuck in this matrix a while longer. But again, it's your choice. This is not meant to scare you. This is not meant to force you. This is meant to give you encouragement and love for whoever I'm speaking to, and not just for the person with the job, but for anyone else who's in this situation of feeling fear and anxiety over a decision right now. Okay, there's somebody else I'm speaking to. Okay, who is been stuck in a very, 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 very abusive marriage for years. Okay, you use the excuse for the children. This is why you stayed. Okay, it's really never a good excuse. This is something that your mind was telling you to help you to justify you remaining in this situation. Okay, basically, again, this was the fear that was placed in there by the false matrix to keep you bound to the situation that you were in, to keep you low vibrational. Okay, and to make you afraid, to make you believe that you can't move forward. So they placed this person, this individual in your life who has, diminished every part of your life, your self worth, and they taking you down to such a point that you don't believe in yourself anymore. God wants you to know you're not alone, and you're not alone through any of this. But what you're going through right now is to motivate you. Okay, that urge that you're feeling to just pick up and leave, and I'm getting some information that you wanted to leave in the middle of the night, whatever this means. Uh, Apparently, this situation is volatile. Okay, and that urge that you were getting to leave in the middle of the night, I'm getting there's also a pet involved. Okay, was actually the divine realms guiding you. Okay, trying to help you move forward. Again, I don't know who this is for, but they're trying to show you you need to remove yourself from the situation if you want things to improve for yourself. You can do this. Okay, there are resources out there. You can find the help that you need. You're not alone. And aside from the resources that are out there in the physical right now, don't forget you also have, you know, the ethereal realms, which is something you've always had, that your close connection with the divine realms. They want you to get back in touch with them. They want you to trust in them again. This is going to reignite your faith. It's going to reignite your trusting in your abilities in yourself. Okay, all this is a positive, as scary as it sounds. And believe me, I get scary when you have to make decisions, especially at a certain age. And especially after a lifetime of mishaps taking place. I've been through the ringer. I know. I get it. It's scary. It's not easy. But like I always tell everyone, if I can do this, you can. If I can create these videos and put myself out here, which is something I was terrified to do because I was being guided to do so, you can do it too, you know? And I realized that this has made me stronger. Doing this has made me into a stronger individual. And what makes me most happy, is my hope that these videos might help others out there so that they know that there's others out there that understand, okay? And the communication that comes through me, that's being channeled through me from wherever it comes from the different sources that it comes from, so it can be delivered to you. Hopefully those words will impress on someone. Hopefully the person will hear it, okay? And even if it doesn't resonate with whoever's finding this video, it might resonate with someone else that you know that needs to hear it, okay? And then again, it'll be your choice and your decision to pass it on if you're feeling called to do so, okay? I'm getting the name Sally, Mark, Jennifer, Tyreek, Tamara or Shamara, Genevieve, Linda, Mariel or Muriel, Jameson, Chantel. Okay, those are names. Excuse me for the interruption. I was getting, those messages. Those names might either apply to yourself or to someone else in this situation who might need to hear this video. I also was here in the state of Nevada for whatever reason. I was getting something else at the time, and like I said, thank you for bearing with me. I was picking up a bunch of downloads. I was being shown another individual or a group of individuals who are ready to make a decision on whistleblowing about something, okay, about some type of a cult or organization that they're in. And I feel like this is just one individual, okay, who's very afraid, okay. You have been encouraged to expose these group of individuals that you unfortunately weren't aware of how volatile that they were, okay, when you first met them, when you first started interacting with them. But you have been given divine nudges, okay, whoever I'm speaking to, okay. I'm getting the initial J and T with this. Uh, you have been given nudges about this group, this organization, that things are not right, that they're taking you down the wrong path, and you're right, okay? You're right. The divine realms is asking you to search within, and this includes all of you, not just the person who's stuck in this situation with this organization, to look within. Again, all of you are being asked, whoever I'm speaking to, whoever this message is for, you're being asked to look within and re-find your relationship that you once had with the divine realms, okay? Too many years have not passed. You haven't been silent for too long. Like I always say, you don't need any kind of a church or a middleman to speak with the divine realms, okay? And that includes videos like mine or anyone else's out there. These are just confirmations for most people. That's basically what they are. Okay, that's about all they are. They're confirmations. Okay, and a lot of times, people won't like what they're hearing, but these messages are not meant to be liked all the time. Okay, sometimes they're meant to guide us along the way, especially when we're feeling confused, like a situation like this, wherever this needs to reach. It's a very somber message. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but I just got to give it the way it's coming through. I don't create the messages. They are just released as they're channeled. Yeah, and that's why a lot of times, I have to decipher, like a lot of other channelers out there have to decipher what's going on, especially when they receive, broad channels. Okay, for instance, in my situation, sometimes I hear words, sometimes I hear songs, sometimes I see things on TV or in my daily life, a commercial. Other times I get images. Okay, but then I'm supposed to get all these images and, try to make sense of them in order for them to be delivered to whoever needs to hear them. And that's why I always pray and ask for assistance, that these messages and videos reach those who need to hear them. Okay. And that is my greatest wish, to help those who are, struggling in some way, and to show them that they're not alone, and to let them know that they're always being heard, and the divine realms will always guide them. All they have to do is ask. Okay. And a lot of the times, the silence that you think you're experiencing, there's somebody out there right now who got angry with God this morning and asking why, all these things happening in my life. Okay. You have to remember, these things are not happening to you, they're happening for you. They're all lessons. And once we're able to learn to accept those lessons, we free ourselves. Once we forgive those who have harmed us in the past and we refuse to retaliate, we free ourselves. Once we refuse to listen to the negative uh, speak of others, we free ourselves. Once we raise our vibration, we free ourselves from being able to be attacked by lower vibrational people. But we have to get out there and get past the fear in order to do it. Okay. And like I said, each and every one of you who I'm speaking to right now, even if your name wasn't mentioned, okay, this video might make some sense for you, and I hope that it does. All right. That being said, we're going to leave it there, and I hope everyone has an amazing evening, night, morning, whenever you're receiving this. And I want to thank everyone if you left a like or a comment. I appreciate it because it helps the algorithm. Okay. And we'll say goodbye for now, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.